Welcome to another episode of the Mental Reset, real tools and real talk around men's mental health.
Today's episode is an honest and a real one. We welcome onto the show Dean, whose life spans through military service, parenthood, leadership, mental health breakdown, recovery, relapse, and ultimately rebuild. Today, it's not about highlights reel or how to fix something. What it is, it shows you how life can sometimes get hard and what tools there are to navigate that. So Dean, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on to Mental Reset.
I got it in the end.
We found it. And we appreciate you coming down, and for the right reasons, because when we shared a call, you want to help other people, inspire other people. And one of the things you said on that call is when you were going through what you went through, you didn't really have anyone to look up to. No one had paved the way before you, and it can feel a bit lost. So well done for you wanting to share your experience to be that person, because people will see this and go, that resonates with me. He resonates with me. I'm going to listen to that guy because he's lived some of what I'm going through.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, lived experience. I think it's probably one of the most important parts of anyone's recovery from whatever it is. Like we spoke about it before, didn't we? We said, like, you can have that clinical side, but it doesn't take away like the isolation of it. No. Like, and we did like what we spoke about when I was first diagnosed. I had like no one. Yeah. Who has bipolar? That's just the only person that I knew was Stacey's mum off EastEnders.
And that was largely...
That's madness, doesn't it?
It's like the way it's portrayed then.
And it's been portrayed like, well, but then a lot of people's like perception of bipolar would be what they hear on the news. Yeah. And the news will only show negative. Mm. So if someone's done something, they had bipolar, like that's people's like
perspective.
That's the only thing they can go by.
And that's the 0.0001%. Whereas actually people who live with bipolar, happy, healthy, well, difficult journey, but still they don't show that in the media, right? They want to show the shocking, the horrific. It was traumatic or didn't end well. That's what the media has driven for years.
It stands out. Like I've always noticed in the past that even now it's like the word, I don't know, I can't never put a finger on it, but the word bipolar, it just stands out. And obviously from whatever experiences or what people like attach their like belief to it, just the word just stands out. Yeah. But it means something like different to everybody. Mm. So for me, it's always been about just any opportunity that I get, sharing a experience of bipolar, because my experience is very different to others. Like we share a lot of similarities, but like no two journeys are the same, but there'll be bits and pieces of that journey that then becomes relatable. And that's the important part. Yeah. Like I said, when I was first diagnosed, I was just like, fuck. It was a bit like a shell shock. Also, I was just given some leaflets by the doctor and like,
right, there you go.
Well, mate, have a little read up on what you've got. So it's kind of like I had to go out my way. Like I had to like be active in finding it out. And then once I started to dig a bit deeper, I still couldn't really find anyone like me that had it. Mm. And that was probably the hardest part.
Yeah. So this is almost what has become your why now, isn't it? And I know you're really big into the why, the reason why you do things, and this is a big thing for your why, right? To show other people out there to have a role model, that who is relatable.
Yeah, 100%. I think I don't like to use the word like influencer because it's also tied to some again another perception thing, isn't it? What people think, but it's like I'm a firm believer when it comes to mental health and also like mindset and everything around it. It's like you need to find your like role model within it. Yeah. Like I can stand up. It happened. I did a talk years ago, and I remember standing there. Like it's like you've done talks. You've probably experienced this as well. Like I remember standing there. And I was like, I ain't got nothing in common with these guys. Yeah. So how am I ever going to get across to them? Like they need people like them within that community, like that kind of community. It's like, how's a guy that's 6'4", goes to the gym, does this. I think I was boxing at the time, like covered in tattoos. And then I'm stood in front of like a very corporate environment. So straight away you're gonna have that judgment, and that judgment's gonna then create barriers, and then that judgment's gonna create like blocks, and then you're not gonna absorb what I'm saying because you can't relate.
Yeah.
And that's where I felt like at that time it was just more important about just being like authentic, which is so hard to do now because the more you try to be authentic, there's always something or noise or like a voice or someone around you that's trying to stop you being that way in case you offend someone.
Yeah.
You say the wrong thing, like, and all of a sudden someone loses their authenticity. So yeah, that's how I kind of see it. So if I try and relate to everybody, ultimately I'm not going to relate. I'm not going to relate to anybody because I'm going to constantly try to fit in.
Diluting yourself
to
fit into other people's boxes, whereas actually being vulnerable, authentic and genuine, you find your group, your community, your tribe, and that's how you drive down the stigma and judgment, right?
100%.
Your own voice, like
Yeah, and mental health doesn't discriminate either, so it's going to affect all walks of, all different kinds of men. So it's about having, men in each of those kind of positions that you can relate to, speaking openly and honestly, like you are doing today. That is going to impact someone, and that's going to be the, could well be the the survival guide for them.
And accuracy as well. I love what you said about it's person centered. Two people with any diagnosis, two people with bipolar, it could affect their life completely different. But when you were given that leaflet, there you go, that's you.
Yeah, I'll never forget that day.
What do you mean that's me? Like it can affect everyone different. Everyone's journey is different. So to hear different bits of stories from people who inspire you, go, that resonates, that connects. I'll take that bit. Oh, okay, this is me, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's what it comes down to. It's just being relatable. Like there'll be people that will listen to this that might not relate to any of it, and you have another guy that comes on, and all of a sudden it's like, fuck yeah, he just said that one thing that. And that's okay to be like that. I can't help everyone as much as I want to. No. I can't. We live in a world where it's too diverse for that. Like that's how I see it. Is that and for me, it's like my audience is who I want to get through to, and that's how I see it. It takes a long time to get there.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
So let's just take a step back and tell us a little bit about your journey to begin with.
Yeah.
And, what.
So the more I dig into it, I feel like the years go back further. So I'm like, oh, was that the turning point? Or was that the turning point? But ultimately, it became noticeable what was going on with me when I first left the army, which was theoretically in 2013. So it's like a long time ago. And that's when the cracks started to form. And it was more not what I'd done so much in my service at that time. It was more about adapting to like the whole new life.
Right, civilian life compared to the life that you were living that was structured.
100%.
And you served for quite a while as well, didn't you?
Yeah, so 8 years, nearly 9 years. Did a tour of Iraq. I gotta be honest, it's a tour that wouldn't sell any books. Like it was like, was at the back end. It's not to do justice, but like I've always said that in my service in the army, there is like men and women that have stepped ahead of me that have like gone through some fucking stuff that's unimaginable.
Right.
And so for me, it's like my tour in Iraq felt like it wasn't that way. Like we was at the back end of the tour. I was very young. I was very young. But that wasn't kind of like the defining moments of like my career as that sort. It's like what we was doing was we were helping like the Iraqi forces and stuff like that. There's a few like, I had more chance of being hit by one of them on a range, like not knowing how to fire something than anything else. It wasn't.
Right, yeah.
And then the periods of time between, then I had my second tour, which was in Afghan. And even around that whole entire time, there was just so much going on. Like lots of things were changing in the army. And that tour was just like for me, it's like it's what I signed up to do, and that tour was like that was being like a soldier. But then I think back, that's where things went like quite wrong when I got back off the tour.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Because the route I wanted to go down in my career, I had completely and utterly changed my mind, like at an instance. Couldn't explain it. Like I went from someone within like the regiment that was like going to do this, going to do that, going to do X, Y, Z, and he's going to try and do these things, and I was just like done.
Right, just change.
Yeah,
that was it.
There was nothing. Like all I wanted to do was just leave. And then when we think back, it's like that's where like the traits of like the bipolar and some of the symptoms of bipolar. So in 2017, so the years leading after it, for the first couple of years, like the deeper that I got into trouble, like and I was getting into a lot of trouble. I was still trying to be a squaddie, like out on Civvy Street.
Right.
That don't like you can't go and do the stuff that you do and mess to each other.
Two worlds.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say like some of the stuff, but it's like
I can imagine.
Yeah. It's like you can't do those things, and ultimately things just broke down. And then as soon as something breaks down, it adds another stress, right? So like I got into some big altercations in town. I started to I was using steroids at the time as well, which obviously got that fucking great reputation it has. You don't want to rip everyone's head off, but as soon as you look big, everyone just goes straight to that default, don't they? And it's not. It's more about people seeing you being big and want to have a bit of you and have a ruck with you. Like that was
weird.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I bet no one messes with you ever. Or 16 stone. I was like, no.
No, mostly, yeah. And that was it.
Like, oh, let's.
No, piss you. I can't keep up with that. And I think like you have a bucket, right? And it just keeps filling up. And that's what's happening. And then that's when my like biggest struggles started to happen, but that's when I started to hide everything as well. Like I always speak about with things like the depression, it's like I mastered like the art of putting a smile on when like seconds before I wanted to end it all. Like I could be able to go into a group exercise class and put on like a performance. That's how it was.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
But it's like, yeah, like when I look back at it now from like an outside view, it's like, and I had people around me, like really good people, like some incredible people, and I wouldn't have got through what I got through without them. And that's that's the longer that I kept trying to put this smile on, it's just chipping away.
It makes it worse, doesn't it?
It makes it worse.
Mask and that guard that you can put on is scary, right? How you can literally be like, yeah, I'm all right, convince everyone around you, and then literally a minute later, you're having a complete and utter crisis.
Crisis is like the ultimate kind of word for it. But then something else was happening, like, and being ex-forces, if you go. Every time I went to the doctors, and I did go to the doctors a couple of times, there wasn't no like deep dive into stuff. Like I've always believed with people about getting a diagnosis is like when you go to the doctors, when you go to mental health professionals, they can only diagnose what they see. Right? That's fact. So if you're going in presenting depression, they can only diagnose depression.
Yeah.
I was never going into the doctors when I was manic. Why did I go to the doctors when I'm manic? I feel fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, I'm rinsing through money, like serial dating, which I never even knew was a common thing for people with bipolar until I read it in a forum. I was like, shit, man, like people are going out on dates, like the hypersexual side. Yeah. But again, like the whole of those years, I was undiagnosed. And that's where ultimately led further down. Every single time I'd have a depressive episode, it would just chip a bit more away at me. Every time I had a hypermanic episode, it would just cause carnage and devastation. So it's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Then I become more difficult to be around. I don't know what's going on. But then ultimately you can only put that smile on for like so long. And then that was when in 2017 was the first time that I attempted to take my life. Wow. Yeah. Yes, 2017. And I think even it's like I've got really strong like views on suicide. For me, it's like I look at it now as it's like a separate illness. I think someone articulated it really well on social media quite recently, and I'm not sure who it is, and I hope I do it justice. It's where it's like the final stages of depression. And if you guys have felt it yourselves, it will take over your life, and it won't let go of it.
No.
And it's like everywhere you look, it just consumes your mind. Like it had such a hold on me. It'd be looking and be like, I can fucking hang myself there. Like,
you think about
it consumes your brain. It's like a loop. Yeah. So like the first time I tried to attempt to take my life, it actually had a negative effect because I felt even more like a failure. I was like, fuck man, that's how pathetic you are. In fact, that's what depression was telling me. Like that's what my mind was telling me. It was telling me like, you're that fucking useless and pathetic. Like you can't even take your own life. Like look where you're at.
It's heartbreaking. You felt that way, man. Like I'm hearing you, and it's heartbreaking.
It's a weird thing to feel. Yeah, I think it's so hard to explain to people like what that feeling's like. Like I don't think anyone can really give it enough justice. Like to be able to get people that have never been through it to understand what it feels like.
I think when you've gone to that dark place in your heart and your soul and your mind, you've got that extra 5% empathy for others.
Yeah.
Even though our journeys might have been completely different, you just know that place of pain. You can get quite creative in describing it. You know, it's like dark tunnel I can't get out of, all consuming. You know, people connect to those feelings of darkness, I think, and that's when you've got that extra empathy for others who have reached that space.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like when people say that they've been to like a dark, like, and everybody's in there, like it's all in context, right? My dark place to someone else's might be a bit different, but it's like I fucking get it.
Yeah.
And when people kind of, I don't know what it is, like bad mouth depression. For me, I'm like, fuck man. Like when if you've been in depression. There isn't really like deep, and I call deep depression, not like a low, like deep depression.
Symptoms of like proper
depressive state. You are up against it.
Oh, mate. Like, energy, it steals from your physical body. Like,
everything.
Go out for a walk. Yeah. I've got no energy to do that. I've got no desire to do that.
Yeah, it consumes everything.
And it's like when people say, I always use this analogy when I'm teaching, saying to someone with depression, come on, you'll be all right, get over it. It's no different to going over to someone that's cut themselves and saying, stop bleeding. It's an impossibility. It's not that they're trying hard enough. They can't.
No.
It's hard.
And I think like, and there's different, like sometimes when I have a low, I actually need someone to be like, Dean, come on. Like, people that know me well, like you're a fighter, right? So you get different types of sparring. This is how I kind of look at it. I hope my analogy is going to work here. But it's like, you'll have someone that you'll literally level out, right, for a bit of confidence. You'll have someone that you'll just be quite even with. And then you're going to have someone that's going to just level you out. And they're tools, right? That's what it is. They're tools. And that's how I see like a support network. Like, I've got people that if they tell me that, come on, Dean, you fucking me, man, you got to do this. Like, come on, this isn't you. Like, we can do this now. Yeah. Like, in the most direct way, like, I need to kick up my ass.
Yeah,
I've got people like that.
You need honesty.
Yeah, and people do need that as well. Like, I'm a believer of it. It's like we can't cuddle everything.
No.
But it's an art form to get that right. But I've got people on my side that will do that for me because they know me really well. And then you've got other people that are like, no, you're in the thick of it. Like, we need to like figure this out.
What should we do?
Reach out.
How can we move forward from
this
with a bit more compassion, a bit less direct?
Yeah, there's everything I talk about in life is tools. Like, everyone's tools. And so yeah, like going back to it, it wasn't. I was sectioned for a very brief time. Voluntary sectioned from the hospital. went to a unit in Hackney. They had no places elsewhere for me, and this was like high security mental health, not the right place for me, basically. And then I was moved out of there. And then within a very short period of time, I went through another process of wanting to take my life. So I say it's a process because it was like a series of events. And now I have like such a like deeper level of like clarity. I look back at it now and it's like, then like, I just wanted help, but I didn't know how to ask. And like, I didn't want to, like, it sounds what it's like, I didn't, this is when people say about this, like, cry for help, like, for someone to go and attempt to take their life, but not want to take their life, if that makes sense, that's not a cry for help. That person needs help, as in support and help. It's not a cry for help, like, they don't know what to do. And I was in that period of time then, and I never forget it, like, I was, like, the police were out looking for me, I was a high risk, I went to home base, and it's so weird, it's like, I'm prepared to do this, because I'm fucking hurting so much and I don't know how to deal with this. But ultimately, I want someone to find me as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
I want someone to stop me doing this.
Yeah.
But I'm prepared to do it. Yeah.
But
and it's horrible. And that's where it got to. I went to home base and I was like, if I buy these things, people are going to figure this out what I'm doing. So like, it sounds real fucking stupid, right? But I bought stuff to like deter what I was about to do with the lady in my head and left there, and then I got in the car, and then what I didn't realise is people were calling me on my phone for the reasons, and then I can visualise it even now. I remember a police car went past me down a road in Dunstable, and where I lived at the time, just by where I lived, and I was like moments away of going where I wanted to go, and I remember looking in like my wing mirror, and the police lights flashed, and then I knew it was for me. Then when I was pulled over, he literally just like opened my car door, and this is like on the side of like quite a busy road, and I was like a fucking mess. And then he like looked into the footwell, and he's just like, "Come on, mate." Like, yeah, he's like, "Come on, mate." Like, you know, I just like sat by the edge of my car, and then he was, I don't know if he had gone through it himself. I don't know if he had he just had this way of connecting quite quickly. A lot of other police cars came, and I remember one of the policemen said, "We need to breathalyze him." There was no issues with that side of it. And the policeman turned around. I remember when the policeman turned around and said, like, "We don't need to breathalyze him. He's got enough to deal with right now." And that was like a huge thing for me. I was like, fucking someone gives a someone cares. Yeah.
Someone sees
it.
That makes all the difference, right? Because imagine that police officer hadn't handled it how they did. Imagine they didn't understand or care or have the empathy. That could come very different way. But just in that moment, you went, someone does give a shit. Someone does care. Someone does get a level of this. I'm so glad that person was there, and I'm glad that we've got people like that in the world. Which
they're there.
That's why we're doing this, because people do care. People do get it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be full of judgment and people who don't care. There's certain people who've gone through something who get that extra 5% empathy, and we need more of those people like yourself to speak up, because then someone sees it and goes, okay, someone cares about me. I'm not alone. I might have felt like I'm on my own, but I'm not. There's people out there who get this.
No, there is 100%, and that's kind of like the turning point. And I was sectioned again then, like sectioned under the Mental Health Act. I remember sitting in the back. It feels like a movie. Like if I look at it now, it looks like that kind of guy that was sat there, like looking out the window. And I was just like, it was like a relief as well.
Yeah.
But I was also fucking scared, like petrified of what was about to come, because it was out then. Like everybody knew, but I thought everyone knew, but obviously people close by. And that was where the process happened of getting diagnosis.
It's heartbreaking that you should have had to have gone through all that to get a diagnosis. 'Cause going back to what you said about, it still takes, and the data might have changed because it's data. We're talking about people, not data, but on average 6 years to accurately diagnose bipolar disorder in the UK.
Yeah.
That's way too long,
Yeah.
because I might go and see the GP. As you did, the GP's got on average 8 minutes per patient.
Yeah.
I'll talk about depression. They'll assess depression, and the diagnosis medication then becomes depression. What we should see is that, you know what, I'm going to refer you to secondary services. You're not going to be on a wait time for 18 months. You're booked in the next couple of weeks, and then that person goes, let's explore this in more detail and get your journey of recovery and diagnosis quicker, sooner, accurate. And, people shouldn't have to have that hard journey that you had to get to that point. It honestly, I get it. It winds me up, and that's why again we need people like yourself, because someone might have had that and then listens to you and go, actually, I can see some trends of what Dean's gone through and myself. Maybe I'll seek out a charity around bipolar disorder. Maybe they'll help me more than this wait time that I'm on through the NHS, and that's free. The charities have started from a place of passion.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's easy to get frustrated with a system that's broken. And that's like how I describe it. It's like, for whatever reason, it's not even a road we need to go down. Why? But you're always going to get frustrated with a system that's broken. Of course you are, because every time you go to do something, it's going to fucking send you back.
Yeah.
And that's going back to what I said sort of like a little while ago, is what makes bipolar very difficult to diagnose is it takes a long time to see the episodes. And one of the only reasons why I felt like I strongly believe I was diagnosed when I was is because I literally went from depression, like sitting on my mum and dad's couch. They were giving me medication daily, the mental health team, right? Because I was at high risk of an overdose again.
Right.
And I lived on my mum and dad's couch for like ages with it, and they'd come out and see me. And it was if like a switch went. And I remember going to do my like weekly like mental health review, and I like went in like a whirlwind, like back clean shaven or like this. I was like dressed, I was ready to go to work, and I was just like, and that was when the alarm bells rang. But that I think that is really one of the main reasons why I got diagnosed, was because it was observed.
Right, they saw it.
They were just
the cycling happened.
They saw
the effect and went, hang on, think.
And I think that's why it's really important to just try and let go of the frustration of the services and keep with it, because if you've got, I mean, Bipolar UK have got like a really good campaign on at the minute about like, could it be bipolar? I think it's a great campaign, right? Could it be bipolar? I think it's like that. You might be able to plug that, I might have got it wrong, but it's like, if you think you've got something, one of the worst diagnoses is self-diagnosis, right? I can make that. You got it at the minute. It's like, got ADHD. Like, what? Because of this? Like, you haven't been diagnosed. And for me, that's where it kind of comes down to. It's like, if you think you've got something, go and get it investigated, figure it out. Like,
explore it.
Just because you put all your kitchen stuff in order doesn't mean you've got bloody OCD. If you actually meet someone that's got OCD, it is mind blowing.
That's my diagnosis.
It's not what
tidy and germphobic. You're like,
it's like I didn't even realise until I started digging deeper into like mental health. I wanted to learn. Like I got such a passion for learning about mental health, and it wasn't until I went into what OCD was, and I remember sitting there going, "Fuck, yeah, that's a bit different. Like, that's not what I thought OCD was like." But I think going back to it's like, Pete, if you think you've got something, go get it figured out. Like, don't label yourself.
Yeah.
Because if anything, your brain's pretty fucking powerful. It'll probably end up only contributing to what you think.
Yeah.
Like,
self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? If you think, you'll find that. You'll see that. It's like when you get a new car, you think, no one's really got this car. And then you start seeing the car everywhere. Everyone's got this car.
The brain's mind-blowing.
It is, isn't it? It's
like,
powerful.
The brain's powerful. And that kind of like leads on to the next point. It's like, you got two lives, right? If you've got a mental illness or a mental health challenge, and everyone's always trying to reword it for whatever reasons, it's like, you've got two lives. You've got diagnosed and undiagnosed. And by God, they're very different. And although life's still quite a challenge sometimes now, a diagnosed life for me is a much better life than an undiagnosed
You've got
life.
something tangible then to work with, haven't you?
You've got an answer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
a diagnosis is like, it's not the answer, right? And I think I put a post up recently about it. It's like, it's also not a label for limiting, right? Which I did at first. I got diagnosed and straight away, like, can't do this, can't do that. Maybe it's the bipolar, maybe it's this. And I end up questioning everything. And I still do it now. But it's like that, it's the starting point. And for me, it's like a diagnosis is like it's like two ways. That's how I see it. It's not like a crossroad. It's like that road's just got closed. Undiagnosed road's gone. It's disappeared.
Yeah.
I'm only going down one road right now. And they have two very different end results. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm so like, I urge people to be like, if you think something's going on and you have the ability to reach out and investigate or dig deeper into the diagnosis, go do it. Because by God, your life will be so much better.
Totally agree with that. You can't build a recovery around nothingness, around a vacuum. I only got diagnosed age 35 and 45 now after doing a mental health first aid course. I think I've been living with OCD all my life. Like I've been sectioned, housebound through ritualistic behaviours. I still didn't know. And then I found a modern GP and they went, yeah, of course you have. And from that point, like you said, that road was now closed. Mm-hmm. And that road has been much better because all these question marks, you think, you start to believe the dialogue. I'm older than both of you. And, you're psycho, you're mad, you're crazy. I started to believe all that. You think maybe I am these things. But then mental health started to be a conversation. OCD was something that I was made aware of, and I went, okay, right.
It makes sense.
It can make sense to the parts of me that never made sense to me before.
It is definitely there. I think, and also it kind of gives you a look back and like, don't get me wrong, like not everything's bipolar. There's places in my history, in my life where there were choices that I was in full, I made those choices. Bipolar didn't make them. I made those choices. Yeah. And they had some big consequences, but it does answer a lot of other stuff. Like it doesn't answer everything, and it's not a get out of jail free card either. Like me having bipolar doesn't mean that I get out of stuff. Like that's not, I acted that way because I was having this type of episode. Like I still have to. I think it's really important to still take like ownership of stuff, but the ownership happens well before like the episodes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You take ownership, like I'm a lot more stable now. So now it's my responsibility to take ownership of the bipolar when I can. Like and I strongly believe that.
I believe that as well.
It's my responsibility. Right? It's my responsibility to educate people that are around me. It's my responsibility to tell them when I feel crap. It's my responsibility, and I have to take responsibility as much as I can. And the reason why I say that is because there is times when I'm not that good at doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And those are the times when people will probably catch up on it because I've taken ownership in the past. And I think that was like a big thing for the diagnosis and I mean, it was a long process, like it was a messed up process. But for me now, it's like, I have a lot more stability in my life. I have to work with this now. Like, and I always say that ownership, like it's my responsibility.
I really, really respect and admire that sense of accountability. And I always talk about it from my journey of reasons and excuses. There might be a reason that I treat someone that way or did that thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it an excuse. It doesn't mean I get to do that because I've got OCD.
Yeah.
Like there might be a reason which hopefully the person can see some kind of compassion in or a bit of forgiveness, but it's not an excuse. I can't do that regardless. I shouldn't have done that regardless. Yeah. I think sometimes in this modern world where people do self-diagnose and have access to all this information, people start to release themselves of that sense of accountability. Oh, it's because of that. It's because of that.
Yeah.
You still can't.
Yeah. And that's quite like a big frustration for me. And I've never really known how to like be really open about that, because you'll always get like a kickback when you feel quite strongly about something, especially within like the mental health side. You will get a kickback, and what I mean by that is that because people think it should be dealt with another way, and for me it's like, well, it has to be at some point dealt this way. Like, that's how I see it. Like, I sit on a really like high hill about that, because for me, it got to a point where a lot of what I was doing to get better became choice. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
some of it wasn't choice, but then some of the therapy sessions, if I chose not to, I use the word, if I didn't go to that therapy session, I chose, there was a lot of therapy sessions I chose not to go to.
Yeah.
That has a consequence. But ultimately, then I have the ones that I did choose to go to. And I think that that's just something that for me, I'll always just like sit so strongly by, like,
Yeah.
at some point after you've been diagnosed, the responsibilities really go into, and I know a lot of mental health is different. There's mental illnesses out there that completely and utterly debilitate people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can't relate to that, and that's where I'm at with it. It's like, this is how, like, I deal with bipolar, and there might be more people out there that can deal with bipolar this way, if that makes sense.
It does.
But then there's people out there that can't, because they have it a lot more severe than I've got it.
And that's why we need those stories, right? Because
lived experience.
if I've only ever heard or been presented with lived experience where someone said, I can't because of this, I can't because of this, I start to believe that. But then if I see other people who go, you can, this is how I live, and we respect it's person-centered, it gives me back that sense of choice, rather than mine saying I can't because I've only seen that. I'm seeing all of it and deciding where I fit in with that. What's my journey going to look like? Being inspired by people like yourself who go, yeah, I've got this, but I'm living and I feel better today than ever.
Yeah. And then obviously, since your diagnosis and living with your mental illness, what would you say have been the most powerful tools if you were to speak to someone who might have been going through, bipolar or an undiagnosed bipolar? What would you say to that could help or guide them?
What would I say to help or guide them? Learn about what you have.
Right.
Go on forums, do the research, educate people. The more that I educated people around me, my life got a little bit easier.
Right.
So yeah, I think the primary thing is learn, because there's a lot out there, but it's very difficult to find if you've just been diagnosed. I think it is. It's a lot easier now. So it would be learn. And for me, it would be learn from people that are open to share.
Yeah.
Because we spoke about it before. You'll have that clinical side. You have to have that clinical side. Of course you do. But I've only ever met like one therapist in my whole entire life that I could actually relate to, because he had gone through similar stuff with a very close family member, and he was very open about that. So for me, it's like, learn what you have, and never stop learning.
Yeah.
Because it's constantly evolving. But yeah, I'd have it like, I talk about toolkits all the time, like, and I don't just see that as like fitness and sleep. Like, I go deeper with tools. Like we spoke about at the start, like removal. Like that's a tool for me.
Yeah.
And the older that I get, the better I get it. And then what I mean by removal is, if it affects my mental health to a certain point, or it causes an episode or a trigger or something like that, like, it's gone.
I'll remove it. I'll take it away.
And it kind of sounds brutal.
Yeah. I think it's great
But
self-awareness.
like,
it's great self-awareness.
But
is it still serving me? No, it's gone then.
Why are we doing it?
Why am I doing it?
And the longer you hold on to it, but 100% go learn, because it's scary. Like like we spoke about, I used it. Like I used to use it in my talks. I used to be like my first experience was I was given a leaflet. Right, like literally, I remember sitting there going, "I'm just going to print you out a leaflet." Okay, cool. And then on there's like 3 different types of bipolar at the time. So I was like, all right, so which one am I? And then the next leaflets I got was medication, 3 different types. Have a read of these, and I swear down. Have a read of these and see which ones that you think are suitable, right? Like it gives goosebumps because like that was my experience. Like, and I can tell you exactly what medications were on there. It was lithium, quintiapine, and lamotrigine.
Wow, there's some hardcore. I was on quintiapine after I got sectioned. There's some. I mean, they're three pretty hardcore.
Yeah, that's
meds, right? You're not picking one of them lightly. You're not going to the bench to go, should I have that one or that one? It's like they're heavy.
It's not a 600 milligram tablet of ibuprofen. Do you know what I mean? Like we went on lithium and life flipped upside down pretty quick.
But it did.
Lithium is some seriously strong stuff.
Seriously proper.
But yeah, I think like for people that have just been diagnosed, just go and learn.
Yeah.
Like life will be. I'm such a strong believer that the moment you get diagnosed, especially with something like bipolar, and it is complex.
Yeah.
It blows my mind sometimes, like, and I live a lot of my life constantly questioning, is this bipolar or is this me? Is this me or is this bipolar? Am I feeling low because I'm supposed to feel low right now because this is life? Or am I about to go into, like, that's what it's like living with bipolar for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's always in the forefront of my mind. So, yeah, I think, like you said, like, learn. And your life will get better. It's not a cure. Like, a diagnosis isn't a cure, which I thought it was at first. But no one educated me that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Same with some of the stuff that I have to deal with from the army. It's only been recently that people that I've been working with alongside are like, we're not trying to cure what's going on with you. We're trying to make you better equipped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Live in recovery with it. Live
trying
with
to
it
get
rather
you,
than cured like cold. It's like I can live in recovery with that, where it doesn't have to have a detrimental effect on my life day in, day out.
No.
And I think that's great advice, right? Go out and get some awareness, learn, research. And any links you want people to see, we'll put on the description.
Yeah, of course,
because this can be a place where someone starts their learning journey. Then we'll post all the links on there. And also you're doing a massive thing, raising money soon. Tell us about that.
So, the first event's at the end of March, which is a 50-kilometre ultra. We're raising money for Walking with Wounded. Last year and the year before, 2024, like their intervention, like absolutely saved my life. Like, and I got to saw my the nurse that helped me yesterday. I went to go and see him, and that's quite a big thing for me. I do live quite an isolated life. But yeah, so raising money for them, like they help and support veterans like across the country. They do like they really do like incredible things, and I've experienced it like firsthand of what they do, and like every single person I have met from that charity so far has been the most like caring. Like they care. Like the ones I've met from the charity and the charity itself, like they care about veterans.
Yeah, they get it.
When other people don't, and I'll always stay on that. Like, so many veterans have fucking forgotten, right? And like I said at the beginning, like, I went out to operational tours, done some pretty like sketchy stuff, but there's some guys out there with stuff over them that they're dealing with that blows people's minds. Like there's guys out there that really need help.
Deserve help as well.
Right?
Deserve help.
And I just feel like the only time anyone actually, do you know what, I was going to say it straight out. Like for me, the only time that there was much care and attention around veterans is when operational theatres were going on, because it was always in the news.
Yeah.
Right? That hasn't stopped. Like all the people that you see in the news, like a very close friend of mine lost his leg in Afghanistan. It's still carrying on for so many of the guys.
Yeah.
And it won't ever go away.
No.
Like, it wasn't just that moment though that required the attention. Like, the attention on the veterans should, if anything, should be now.
Continuous now.
Continuous.
Yeah,
and that's what...
Totally agree.
That's what charities like Walking with the Wounded are doing.
Like, post the link.
They're trying really hard to help veterans. Yeah,
really, really good cause. And I assume, obviously, on your Insta page, the Inner Edge, that
Yeah,
you'll
I don't know how long that's going to stay, that name. I
okay.
don't know.
You'll
Wait
be
till an episode.
obviously posting obviously the stories and stuff
Yeah.
about the fundraising for it as well. So
Yeah.
we'll stick all the links in the,
Anything
in
you
the
want on
captions
there,
as well.
sharing
So,
information, going back to your point of, you know, what do you want people to know? Educate yourself, get some awareness.
yeah.
We'll put loads of useful links in the
Yeah.
description, anything you want in there. But you know what?
It is.
Massive respect. I know you two
Yeah.
connected. We had a call.
Yeah, it was,
read
last
your
week.
post. Genuinely, you're a great guy.
I
And
appreciate
keep
it.
doing what
Appreciate
you're
it.
doing,
Thanks,
man.
man.
Keep
Yeah.
helping people the way you're
Thanks for the
helping
time.
Thanks so much.
because you will.
Thank you.
You will help
Yeah,
people.
yeah. I think it's
I know
collective,
that. I
isn't it?
believe that.
Mm.
And your story, your journey,
Yeah.
it's going to help a lot of people who maybe are at the start of that. So massive respect
Yeah.
to you.
No, I appreciate the time.
And thank you at home for watching. We've been Mental Reset, and if you could take a couple of seconds to hit that subscribe button, please help us grow and reach more and more men out there that might need to hear this.
And that's the big reason why, right? To help people. So
Yeah.
it's going to be free. We want to share information. The big reason why, which I know is important to Dean, is to help other men on this journey.
That's it.